Peace to my divine infinite consciousness, and peace to my divine infinite self in all realms and realities. You know how I know that the black man in America, the Afro black man, you know how I know that he's the chosen amongst God's called? Because nobody has never helped him. I'm talking about nobody has ever came to this assistance of his oppression. People know he was oppressed. People know that these Muslims, that black man's been hung from trees, castrated, murdered, burned up, even eaten or eaten. While families had to endure that, getting switched up at birth, sold off, shit like that. Nobody's never came to the aid and assistance of the black man in America. For one. So we know that, and that's all a part of the Most High's plan, is to show his power and his glory and grace. But anyhow, though, even though the whole planetary lining was basically lined up for these lower vibrational entities to rule, and there's lower vibrational energies in every culture. It's in every culture. It's a frequency, and just so happen to be that, you know, when you're dealing with weaker genetics, dealing with white folks or Caucasians, they'll be subject to more weaker ideas than the more original people of the earth. Even though there's straight-haired people in the earth too, you know what I mean, or thicker straight-haired people. Remember, the black male has all of the hairs of all the people on earth. He has the slick hair, which is the eyebrow, which is the straight hair. He has the coarse hair, which is the beard, the mustache, the sideburns. And then he has his hair, which is the coarsest and soft crystal, the coarsest of it all. So he is able to interpret certain things. He's been through different things. Black male has been through all kind of things. The lower self, for instance, you know what I mean? Having the genetic gene that had to go up and watch and witness individuals, you know, loved ones get murdered and hung and things of that nature, and live with that. These things were passed down genetically, while these lower vibrational entities, psychopathic cluster B personality disordered individuals, utilize this as a study to see how they can master all the rest of the indigenous people of the earth. And this is how they did it. Now everyone is willingly turning gay, willingly catering to the sociopathic narcissist, willingly trading with them, even though it's just like a landlord. Like, the landlord has to have a copy of your past tenant lease type shit. You know what I mean? Like, what happened, what you do, how'd you get kicked out of there? And it determine if they'll do even business with you, if they'll let you stay in the house or not. Now, if we look at Earth, everyone has their own indigenous area, and the European is at admiralty law. He's traveling maritime law at sea to different places. So being that he's traveling at sea to different places, he's actually the alien of the whole thing. So being that the Caucasian is at sea, he is actually moving from house to house, from different ethnic groups to one ethnic group, you know? And so if the landlords, which is the ethnic groups or people or indigenous people of those lands, kept track of the record of what he did in every house or land that he been through or been to, they wouldn't rent out to this month as a people, as a whole. It only makes sense because this is the same thing that he would do to the indigenous people or ethnic people once he takes hold of the land. He got a hold of the land. Now he can be like, you could do the slightest of things and he'll tell his brother and them not to rent out to you. Even though his brother and them need that money, just as long as he can hold out, as long as his brother and them can hold out a little longer than you, the ethnic, indigenous people, then they straight. So they still have that one up, that power, even though they wanted to give too. Original people learn this because I'm talking about Black American men, they learn this because you got to remember, most had their own baseball league, most had their own basketball leagues, most had their own award shows, music, all that. So it wasn't until the "you can't beat them, join them" thing came about is when the whole mixture of the you got to accept the tranny too, you got to accept the actual male, being actually gay as well too. But you got to accept that. And it's like they're talking to the teachers, and the teachers are like very lenient but stern. But at this point, the teachers is learning something about themselves. Like, wait a minute, hold up, this doesn't even feel right. Morale, things that come from the Most High. Shame if you do something wrong. That means you're connected. Music. If you're in tune, you got that soul. That means you were sitting next to God or the Most High Creator. You sitting right there at the foot, like, damn, man, he touched you. You got that soul, like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel soul in other music. Black Mexican, soul side. He was already doing salsa. You know what I'm saying? Cubano, jazz, Cuban jazz music, the Louisiana with the tom drum. I mean, we had everything.